Today, Baba gives us a lot of clarity about respect. And you see, in the world, there is a lot of talk about respect and giving respect. But first thing Baba tells us is, Maya has made you lose all respect. Yes, and you see, what is respect? So first thing about respect is self-respect. And how do you have self-respect? When you do virtuous karma. Because every karma that you do, whether it's at the level of the mind, or it's a physical act, or it's an act of give and take, every karma that you do, you are the first witness to that karma. And if that karma is evil, if that karma is motivated by vice, then you know that your karma is not good. And then if you perform that karma, you lose your self-respect. And you see, we can understand this also only when we understand karma. So everybody in the world has lack of self-respect. And what is the sign of lack of self-respect? Seeking respect. Yes, so when you're begging for respect, when you become beggars, that's the sign of lack of self-respect. And everybody in the world today is begging for respect. And, we are moving with a begging bowl and then just requesting everybody to throw some appreciation, some words of respect, some words of, regard into that begging bowl. So we are moving with that begging bowl. Have you seen that when you enter a room full of people, you are very interested to see who is wishing you, who is not wishing you, whether somebody came to greet you or nobody came to greet you, or whether somebody, bowed down to you, said namaste or didn't say namaste. So all of this is very important in the world today. And I remember when it is New Year's, then in the office people wait that everybody would come and wish them Happy New Year. And if somebody is in the position of a boss, then they really keep a count of which employee came and wished them Happy New Year and which of them didn't. And then they take it very personally that, this one didn't wish me. Or I remember there was this one family, and their son divorced, and when that divorce was happening, then the main reason was that the daughter-in-law doesn't respect the elders, doesn't respect the father-in-law and the mother-in-law. And I asked them, what kind of respect are you talking about? So what does she do which makes you feel that she doesn't respect you? So they said that there's a certain way in which we all bow down to our elders, and there's it's called Dandvat Pranam. So you just lay very flat and then you touch the feet, and that my daughter-in-law doesn't do. And then I said, does she have any other problems? Does she So is she not taking care of the household, or is she not performing her duties? So she's fine in all of that, but with this kind of behavior we cannot do. So then the son got divorced. And you see this thing about having lack of self-respect and then seeking respect is huge. And in the society that we live, there are some unwritten, unsaid norms about how you must respect somebody and what is the expression of that respect. Yes, and sometimes the expression of the respect is, even if somebody is saying something which doesn't make any sense to you, you just do that. Yes, so even if you can't make any sense out of it, you just do that because that's a sign of respect. And Baba says that all of this is happening because Maya has taken away all your respect. Because, and now we understand, because we didn't understand karma, we didn't know that when a soul performs actions motivated by lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then the soul loses power. We didn't know this law. We didn't know that when you are performing thoughts, words, and acts under the influence of vices, then you're losing your self-respect. We did not know this law. So Baba says that Maya has taken away all your respect. And then the sign of that is you've become a beggar. And now you are seeking respect from everybody. And Baba today uses two words. One is devilish respect, and then there is another word which is the respect that Maya gives you. So when we are begging for respect, then who gives us respect? Maya. And we get devilish respect. And what is the basis of that devilish respect? So whose begging bowl has more respect in this world of Maya? The ones who have, and you see, we are trained to have our begging bowl filled. So right since childhood we are taught that, if you fetch good marks, if you get a good grade, if you get a good job, if you get a good salary, if you have a great status in society, or if you have a big position in some office, or if you have great property with you, then, or you're very good looking, so if you are very attractive to look at, then you will get all that respect. So then what do is we put in a lot of effort in this world of Maya to take care that we are respected well. And that is, and you see, everybody is trying so hard today so that other people put something in that begging bowl of respect. But then what happens is, Baba says this is devilish respect. Because why is this called devilish respect? Because somebody, when they like it, they give you some respect and then they take it away. And you are always hankering after that respect. So you see that somebody today is coming and saying that, greeting you very well, touching your feet, and then saying great things in your praise. And then you say, okay, I have done something in life and I'm very respectable. But then tomorrow what they do is they see you on the street and walk off. They don't even acknowledge that they know you. And then what happens is that you doubt yourself. and then you feel, am I not good enough? Have I done something wrong? Or what is it that has made this person do this? And then you start burning in that, burning in those feelings. And you see that there are, and in this journey also I've seen there are people who come to the center and they will show a lot of respect, and then they'll say very good things about you, and then they'll just praise the organization, they'll praise how you're doing good work, and the next day you hear them, they are abusing you, they are they are saying nasty things about you. And Baba says that if you have lack of self-respect, then what happens is you fall into the trap of this devilish respect, and then this devilish respect can make you feel very high, and then it can take you down instantly. And it's not just this, I remember there was, when I was in office, there was a lady and she had a very powerful seat in the office, and that seat had got, that's on that seat you were capable of doing a lot of things. And then what happened is everybody used to come and be friends with that lady, and for a long time I also thought that everybody loves that lady, because it was, everybody used to just come and flock around and have lunch with her and talk to her and say nice things about her. And when she had an occasion in her family, everybody would go there with her, and it looked all very great and rosy. And then what happened is this lady had a transfer, and she went to a seat which was not that powerful, and then none of the people visited her and people wouldn't even acknowledge her when they met her in the corridor, or if she had some work with somebody, they wouldn't give her that attention and time. And then I saw that lady, she was almost into depression because of that, and she used to always say that everybody is just respecting the seat, not you. But then you see, that's how it is. So this devilish respect, never fall into the trap of this devilish respect, because this devilish respect is very temporary, and one moment somebody is respecting you and next moment they just pull you down, and they start abusing you on the contrary, and they'll start saying nasty things about you. And then what happens is, if you are into the trap of this devilish respect, then you suffer. And you suffer not because somebody disrespected you, but because you couldn't understand that this kind of respect is meant for you to suffer. And so what do we do in this situation? So Baba says that now I am filling you with divine respect, and I am teaching you how to build self-respect by recharging yourself. So first thing is you recharge yourself with yoga power, and then second thing is you stop using vices, and the more you have every step on Shrimat, when you do everything on Baba's Shrimat, then you develop self-respect, then you really know who you are, and then you are not moving with a begging bowl. And then if somebody gives you respect, what is your thought? That they are giving respect because they are good people, not because I am good but because that soul is good. And then if somebody is disrespecting you, then you don't suffer, because it's not about you. You know that somebody is disrespecting because that's their sanskar. So when you have self-respect, then you interpret everything differently. So when somebody is appreciating you, somebody is praising you, then you know that it's their sanskar to praise and appreciate, so they are doing it. And you don't take it personally, it's not about you, it's how they are perceiving you. And then when somebody is doing the opposite also, you don't suffer, because again it's their sanskar, and then they are doing what they do best, and it's not about you. But the interesting thing here is, sometimes we just try to implement one part of Baba's teaching. So we are trying to tell ourselves that when somebody is disrespecting me, it's about their sanskar, not mine. But the truth is, if when somebody is giving you respect and appreciation and praise, if at that time you don't remember that it's their sanskar, it has got nothing to do with me, then when they are giving you the opposite, at that time also you cannot remember this. Because you see, fame and defamation, so you have to be equanimous in both. If fame takes you high, then defamation will pull you down. That's the law. So Baba says that fill yourself with self-respect by doing away with all the vices, because it is with the vices that Maya made you lose all respect. And then you will be eligible for what Baba calls divine respect. And what is divine respect? So when we are deities, we don't seek respect. We don't seek respect, we don't enjoy respect, but we are very respectable. Yes, and everybody respects us, whether it's souls or nature. And why is it such a world of love and respect? Because then you have built so much respect that you're not seeking respect. So Baba says that is divine respect, and that is not temporary. That is something very permanent. That is something that stays with you all your 21 births. So Baba says this. And then Baba also says that if we don't do away with our vices now, if we don't make the effort to purify ourselves, then we will receive punishment at the end, and that is the most disrespectful. Yes, because who will you be punished in front of? In front of Baba, who is the only one that matters. And Baba says you don't want that kind of disrespect. So you see, disrespect is not when somebody who is vicious, they disrespect you. That is not disrespect, because they don't know better, so they are just giving what they have. But when you don't do your purusharth, and at the end we will be punished in front of Baba, then that will be very disrespectful. Because when you are punished in front of that one who is the purest, the highest, then that is very disrespectful. So Baba says you must take care to not lose your respect, do your full purusharth, and leave the body with your head held high. So when you leave the body, you don't receive punishment, and in front of Baba, there is nothing that you regret, there is nothing that you will have to think about and go back and settle in terms of settle through punishment. And you will move with, Baba says, be pass with honors. And what is pass with honors? So when you cross the subtle region and go to the soul world, so you can move with your head held high, and Baba should be proud to see you. And that is what is respect all about. So Baba says get this thing about respect very straight. And in this world, people are very concerned about losing face, or facing defamation or facing disrespect. But Baba says, in this impure world, in this world where everybody's primary sanskar is impurity, right now the most emerged sanskar is what? Impurity. So in this kind of a world, people will give what they have. Yes, but the thing is, you should never be affected by that. But how will you not be affected? If you are not moving with a begging bowl. Yes, if your hands are, that of a giver, not a beggar. If you're begging that, then everybody, whatever they have, if they have disrespect, if they have disgust, they will just throw it in your apron and you will take it. So fill yourself so much with Baba that you don't mind the devilish respect and disrespect coming from the world. Because if you once fall into the trap of devilish respect, then you see that respect has another side, disrespect, because devilish respect is never permanent. One day people will put you on a pedestal, next day they'll throw you down. But if you were very happy on that pedestal, then you will cry when you're coming down. So you have to be very careful about this thing and don't fall into the trap of devilish respect. And this is one thing. Then another thing that Baba today tells us is, when we think about ourselves as a body, then it is like dangling upside down. Yes, and just imagine when you're dangling upside down, then somebody asks you to walk, sit, stand. Very difficult, isn't it? Yes, you're just, do you understand what is dangling upside down? So people do Shirshasana, yes, and then in that Shirshasana, you ask somebody to just be in that position for 5 minutes. Very difficult to do that. Very difficult to balance in that state. Very difficult. You ask them to walk in that state. Can they do that? No. You ask them to sit in that state. Can they do that? No. Very difficult. Impossible. And Baba says similarly, when you're body conscious, that which is your reality becomes very difficult for you. So, when you're body conscious, you say staying peaceful, staying happy, being loveful, respectful, or having yoga with your own father is very difficult. And you see, in the world, people say, most difficult to meditate. Now, what is meditation? Meditation is remembering your own father. But why is it so difficult to remember your father, and why is it so easy to remember everyone and everything else? Because you're dangling upside down. And in that position, whatever is most easy, most natural for you appears very, very difficult to you. And Baba says this is why being soul conscious is the first step. So when you are soul conscious, when you're body conscious, then remembering Baba is the most difficult. And when you're soul conscious, remembering Baba is the easiest, because that's what a soul can do. Yes, what is the soul? So who is the one I have all relationships with? It is Baba. So remembering the one who is your father, teacher, Satguru, how can it be difficult? But when you are body conscious, remembering your physical father, teacher, Satguru is easy. But remembering your spiritual father, teacher, Satguru is most difficult. So Baba says, you must first understand that the biggest problem is body consciousness. And the first practice you do is to consider yourself to be a soul. And do you understand that this body, the relations, the religion, the attainments, the achievements, the goals that we have set for ourselves, they are all aspects of this birth. Do you understand that that which you call your mother and father, they were not your mother and father before you came to this body. And they will not continue to be your mother and father after you leave this body. So all the physical relationships, the physical religion, the physical, attainments, achievements, the job and everything that we take so seriously, it's just an aspect of this birth. And can anybody just promise me that when you leave the body, you will remember these parents, these teachers, these, these people that you're so concerned about? Do you understand? When the soul leaves, it doesn't even turn back and see the ones the soul left. And when you're in the body, you think that this is it, this is most important. And then you tell Baba that, my son, my daughter, and my work, and my job, and my goal, and my ambition, and this is why I can't remember you, I can't take inheritance from you. So Baba says, all these things are just a temporary aspect of a temporary birth. Yes, and you might be thinking that your husband is your only husband or your wife is your only wife, but do you know you have had 84 of them? And you're not that committed in your relationships as you think you are. So you had 84 sets of parents, 84 sets of spouses, and 84 sets of children, and when you think about it, then you understand that all this talk about commitment and surrender to relationships, all this is very frivolous, because when you look at the spiritual truth, you get a new set of relationships, new work, new goals, new attainments, new house, new everything, every birth. And then why are you so attached to what you have right now? Because this is just temporary. And just leave the body tomorrow and all this doesn't matter. Once you leave the body, nothing exists for you. So Baba says that when you're in this body also, you understand that you're just a soul, you're playing your role, and these are the props that you have been given so that you play your role well. And or these are the props that act as hurdles or they act as supports, but you and your role, that is permanent. And Baba says, now I have given you the understanding of your role. And what is your role? That you stay in this body, stay amidst everything, but your role is to purify yourself and purify the whole world. And Baba says that this is how you have to think of. So this life is a dream? No, it is not a dream. It is a reality, but it is not what we have thought it is. So it is, if you remove the I and mine, then everything is true. So they are there, but they are not mine. Yes, so this is the work I do. I am not an engineer. This is the country I live in. I am not an Indian or an English person. So you have to remove the I and mine. The I and mine is the illusion, not the world. So don't go into that philosophy that the world is an illusion. No, everything is there, but you are wearing some spectacles, and the way you're seeing it, it's not like that. So it's just a temporary context in which you're playing your role. And Baba says, you are a soul, you are not a body, and you are not the ones you identify with. You are soul, all your relationships and attainments are with Baba, and your primary task in this birth is to remember Baba, follow Baba's Srimad, create your stock of Punya Karma, purify the world and leave and go to a better world. So Baba says, don't let body consciousness make that difficult for you. Because when you remembering Baba, becoming pure, doing seva, imbibing knowledge is what comes naturally to us. But when you are trapped in this I and mine, then that becomes difficult for you. So Baba says, you remove yourself from this body consciousness first, and then you will be standing straight up, and then everything that you felt was difficult will be easy for you. And then Baba today tells us that I found that very interesting, that Baba says that being a teacher, Baba says everybody must become a teacher. And it's not that when you become a teacher, you become Lakshmi Narayan. So what Baba is saying is, becoming a teacher is not a position. It's not a title or a position or a name. It's an act. Yes, a teacher is what a teacher does. So Baba says, you become a teacher. Everybody, every child of Baba must become a teacher. And who is a teacher? So Baba says, the one who teaches everybody how to consider themselves to be a soul and remember Baba. That's the teaching you have to give to everybody. And when you do that to many others, then you claim your position, because the one who is a good teacher will be the ruler tomorrow. So Baba says, do not deceive yourself that just because you have the position of a teacher, you will go and rule in the Satyugi kingdom, because teacher is not a position, teacher is an act. And this is a very important point, because in this world, everything has become a position. Boss is a position, parent is a position, teacher is a position. Yes, so everybody, you look at the Lokik parents today. They think that just by giving birth to a child, they have ownership over the child. No. But if you give the sustenance to the child, then you have ownership over the child. Because you can only win somebody with love. And you give that love, give that sustenance, then the child is yours. And you can give sustenance to any soul. Doesn't matter the only ones you give birth to. So Baba says, it's all about giving sustenance. It's all about giving the teaching and giving the Shakti also with your own embodiment. That you're teaching everybody how to remember themselves as a soul and remember Baba. And when you do that and you create a lot of praja, so when you serve a lot of souls, then you will become the ruler. So Baba says, don't hanker after a position, and nothing is a position, everything is an act. So you see, why is Baba the father? Because he gives the inheritance. Why is Baba the teacher? Because he teaches us with love. Why is Baba the Satguru? Because he takes us to Mukti, Jivan Mukti. Baba doesn't say, I'll not do anything, but I am the father, teacher, Sadguru. No. So Baba says, similarly, you also have to be a true teacher, yes, a true server. And if you are, and Baba says, everybody is a sevadhari. And if you don't have that humility, then you are not a sevadhari. So you must have the attitude to serve. You have the humility to serve. Only then will you become the Vishwa ka Malik tomorrow. Okay, Om Shanti.